Assalamu alaikum and welcome you all in our online classes. I'm your English teacher Saira and today we are going to learn past tense. Please watch the video carefully because at the end of every topic there is a quiz for you to test your understanding. So before starting past tense, let us know what is a tense first. To understand tense, read the following sentences. She writes a letter to her mother every day. She wrote this letter yesterday. She will write another letter tomorrow. In sentence number 1, the verb writes refers to present time. In the same way, in sentence number 2, the verb wrote refers to past time. And in sentence number 3, the verb will write refers to future time. Thus, a verb may refer to present, past, and future time. Now, what we need to learn? We need to learn that a verb that refers to present time is called a present tense. A verb that refers to past time is called a past tense. And in the same way, a verb that refers to future time is called a future tense. Thus, there are three main tenses: present, past, and future. How many types of tenses are there? Present, past, and future. What is a tense then? From the above explanation, we knew that the tense is a verb that shows the time of an action or event. Here the word time needs to be focused. Today we will read about past tense. Look at the following examples to understand past tense more properly. I played soccer with my friends last Saturday. This is called simple past tense. I was having dinner with my family when the doorbell rang. Was having. This is called past continuous tense. When we got to the theater, the movie had started. The movie had started. It is a perfect tense, past perfect tense. She had been waiting for 2 hours when the doctor finally arrived. She had been waiting for 2 hours. Past perfect continuous tense. If you see, all these are examples of past tense because the action happened in past time. Then why we named all these 4 tenses differently? Because of the state. Look at the verbs again. In the first sentence, we use the verb played. Played is showing a completed action. In second sentence, was having. This verb is showing an ongoing action. In third example, had started. This is again a completed action, but this time an earlier completed action, an action that completed first. In next sentence, had been waiting is a continuous verb, but this time this continuous action happened first. So if we see in all these sentences, the state of the verb is changed. Some are continuous, some are completed. They all are in past time, but their state are different. Thus we see that the tense not only shows the time of an action or event, but it also tells us about the state of an action that it refers to. In this way, we may say tense is a form of verb that tells us about the time and the state of an action or event. Now, how many forms of past tense have we learned? Simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous form. Let us discuss all these past forms one by one. The first form of past tense was simple past tense, simple past form. Look at the following examples to make this concept clear. I received the letter a week ago. In this example, we used the verb received. Received is a past tense that shows a completed action. Again, if we see in the next example, she left school last year. In this sentence, the verb left shows that it is a completed action. Take another example. The steamer sailed yesterday. Here the verb sailed again shows a completed action. An action that is already completed, but when? In the past, somewhere in the past. Thus, an action that is completed in the past is called a simple past tense. Look at the sentences again. If we see the verbs received, left, sailed, all these three verbs show completed actions. And if you see the word a week ago, last year, yesterday, this means all these completed actions happened in the past. So when a completed action happens in the past, that is called a simple past tense. Then what is the structure of simple past tense? In simple past tense, we use the V2 form or the past tense. For example, if we see the verb used in these examples, in first sentence we used the past tense of the verb to receive, that is received. Then in the second example, we used the past tense of the verb to leave, that is left. And in the same way, in third example, we used the past tense of the verb to sail, that is sailed. So it is very simple. You just have to use the V2 form or the past tense. Look at the example again. I received the letter. I is the subject here. Received is the past tense of the verb to receive, and then I have used the object, the letter. I hope you are clear with the concept of simple past tense. I have a few examples for you to solve. Since you know what is the structure of simple past tense, you have to use correct form of verb according to simple past tense to complete these sentences, and you have 2 minutes to complete this activity. If you think you are not done, then you can simply pause this video, and once you are done, you can start from the same point. I hope you have completed this exercise. You can check the correct answers of these sentences on your screens. Next form of past tense is the past continuous tense. Where do we use past continuous tense? Look at the following examples. The light went out while I was reading. If you see this example, I was reading is basically the past continuous tense. How it is continuous? Continuous again will be an ongoing action. So reading here is an ongoing action. Where do we use past continuous tense? When an unfinished ongoing action in the past is interrupted by another completed action. If we see the example, I was reading, that past continuous tense, that ongoing action is interrupted by another completed action. While I was reading, the light went out. That completed action interrupted my ongoing action. The light went out is a completed action which interrupted my ongoing action I was reading. Look at the other example to make this more clear. When I saw him, he was playing soccer. Now what was he doing? Before I saw him, he was playing soccer. So a completed action interrupted an ongoing action. He had not completed his action. He was still playing when I saw him. So that completed action interrupted an ongoing action in the past. What is the structure of past continuous tense? In past continuous tense, we use the auxiliary was or were according to the subject, and then we use the main verb, that is the present participle. Now what is a present participle? Present participle is ing form of verb. If you see the examples, I was reading and he was playing soccer. In both of these sentences, I've used the auxiliary was and then I've used the present participle reading and playing. So after the subject, we use the auxiliary was and were according to the subject. Was for singular subject and were for plural subject. And then the main verb, that is the present participle, ing form of verb, and then the object. I have few examples for you to solve. Look at the following examples and try to complete it by using the correct form of verb according to past continuous tense. I hope you are done with this activity. Now look at the correct answers. The next form of past tense is past perfect form. The perfect form of past tense. What is past perfect tense? Look at the following examples to understand past perfect tense. When I reached the station, the train had left. When we have two past actions, the first past action that is completed first will be in past perfect tense. If you see the example, what is the first past action? Which action completed first? I reached the station or the train had left? Definitely, first the train left and then I reached the station. So, the first past action, the action that happened first, train left first, so that part will be in past perfect tense. And the other part is a completed action that will be in simple past. So we say when I reached the station, simple past tense, the train had left, past perfect tense. Take another example to make it more clear. I had done my exercise when Sarah came to see me. Which action is completed first? First Sarah came or I did my exercise? First, I completed my exercise and then Sarah came. So the first past action that is completed first will be in past perfect tense. Like I had done my exercise. So when there are two past actions, the first past action will be in past perfect tense. Then what is the structure of past perfect tense? We use the auxiliary had plus the main verb past participle. What is past participle? Past participle is the V3 form, the third form of verb. So what is the structure of past perfect tense? Subject plus auxiliary had, then we will use past participle as the main verb and then the object. I hope you have understood this concept. I have few examples for you for this topic as well. Look at the examples and try to complete it by using the correct form of verb according to past perfect tense. I hope you are done with it. Look at your screens to check the correct answers. Our next and last form of this tense is past perfect continuous tense. Where do we use past perfect continuous tense? When there are two past actions, the earlier ongoing past action will be in past perfect continuous tense. If you see the example, she had been waiting for 2 hours when the doctor finally arrived. So, which was the first past action? She had been waiting for the doctor first and then the doctor arrived. So the first past action that was also ongoing because she was continuously waiting for the doctor 2 hours before he arrived. So the first past ongoing action will be in past perfect continuous tense. Take another example. She felt exhausted because she had been driving for the whole day. Why she felt exhausted? Because before that she had been continuously driving for the whole day. So the first past ongoing action is in past perfect continuous tense. What is the structure of past perfect continuous tense? We use the auxiliary had been plus present participle as the main verb. What is present participle? We have discussed it earlier. Present participle is ing form of verb. So we use had been plus ing form of verb. To complete, look at the following examples and try to complete it by using the correct form of verb according to past perfect continuous tense. Okay, if you are done, you can tell your answers with the correct ones. Let us have a quick overview of what we have read till now. We have read about tense. What is a tense? Tense is a verb that not only tells us about the time of an action or event, but it also tells us about the state of the action that it refers to. So tense basically tells two things: time and state of the action. So time and state, these two words are very important when you are going to read tense. Then we read that there are three types of tenses: present, past and future tense. In this video, we have learned past tense. There are 4 aspects of past tense: simple past tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense, and the 4th aspect is past perfect continuous. Where do we use simple past tense? Simple past tense is used to show a completed action in the past, and its structure is subject plus past tense plus object. Then we read about past continuous tense. Past continuous tense is an unfinished, ongoing past action that is interrupted by a completed action. What is the structure of past continuous tense? Subject plus the auxiliary verb was and were. Then we use present participle as the main verb, and then the object of the sentence. Then we read about past perfect tense. Where do we use past perfect tense? When there are 2 past actions, the earlier completed action in the past will be in past perfect tense. What is the structure of this tense? Subject plus the auxiliary verb had. Then we use past participle as the main verb in this tense plus the object. And then the last aspect was past perfect continuous tense. Past perfect continuous tense is an ongoing action in the past that happens earlier before a completed action. What is the structure of past perfect continuous tense? In past perfect continuous tense, we use subject, then the auxiliary verb had been, then we use present participle as the main verb, and then we use our object. I have a few more examples for you to solve. You have to see which form of past tense is used in all these sentences. You can find the correct answers after this. After completing this activity, try to make as many sentences of these different forms of past tense as you can. While making sentences, please keep in mind the correct usage and structure of all these tenses.